floods all over this place, but it's a pretty fun city.
Did see some photos yesterday from that Halvor guy we were talking about. He's Vendetta. That's who we're referencing.
Yeah.
I saw some of the photos of the biblical flooding of Ukraine yesterday, and it looked pretty outrageous. I'm not going to lie. So I did miss that. I was in Spain, actually. So I'm a little late to the party, and sometimes better late than never. Unless it's like, your surprise party you planned for someone, which isn't what happened. So I'm good, right? I think.
Exactly. You're definitely making me look extra white.
I kind of noticed the same thing. I'm like, wow, they got an orange background. I'm pretty much orange right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty toasty.
I need to hit the sunbeds. That's something I'll need to be doing.
Oof. Just hit the real sun, man. It's you get some of that vitamin D.
We aren't getting any. We don't get very much of that in Northern Ireland. So.
Oh, well, that I guess does make sense.
Yeah.
I've never been to Ireland. I would like to check that out. I'll put that on the short list at some point.
I mean, you got to just go around and try and find the best Guinness, right?
Yeah, see, my pops likes Guinness. I'm not so much into it.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? It's kind of like iron, drinking pure metal.
It's like it's something along the lines if I look at drinking a full-on loaf of bread.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
got
to be very filling.
Yeah, you kind of feel sick after like half a pint, and you just kind of put it down. But there's some people that can drink a lot of it. I think Jason Momoa, obviously the actor, he loves it.
We're talking about Khal Drogo, yeah?
Yeah, Khal Drogo, yeah.
Khal Drogo. That he doesn't have a real name. It's actually just Khal Drogo.
Yeah.
No, actually, he was in a studio for an ESL show one time.
Really?
He was there, and it was the chick from The Walking Dead. I can't quite remember her name. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty cool. And the Mighty Mouse guy is a UFC fighter. So.
Yeah, so we got a lot of like famous people coming into the studios.
Well, they were there for some game launch. We weren't cool enough. We were doing Pro League like over here somewhere, but they were there, so that was kind of cool.
I mean, we had Jeff Goldblum as well show up at DreamHack Dallas. So obviously, that's some celebrities coming to show some love to Counter-Strike.
That was a especially strange one, seeing Jeff Goldblum, because like, on one hand, is there anyone more accomplished than this man? He's defeated aliens. He's fought against dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like, this guy has basically done it all at this point.
And he's done it all while being the most fashionable man on the planet.
That is very much the case. Again, if you're just joining us, there's a reason we're talking about Jeff Goldblum, because we are waiting to get into the game, which should be happening sooner rather than later. We can just kind of revisit the fact that we do have our maps. That'd probably be a good idea. We're going to Mirage, then Overpass, and then Nuke, should we make it there. My friend Dinko seems to think this is going to be a 2-0 barbecue for the way of Windigo.
Yeah, I really do think it will be. I think Nordavind, they haven't looked amazing, but they could steal away a map. We're just going to – this is the sort of straight-up prediction. If Windigo play well and they turn up, which is sometimes hit or miss because Windigo can play absolutely terribly or they can play amazing. So it's kind of like what Windigo turns up today.
Yeah, the last good look I got at Windigo probably would have been their WESG thing, and that was a bit shocking in a lot of ways. But for them, congratulations. That's a big tournament to take, I guess. And
they also just won Mosh XL that from Lisbon. So obviously they're still in like the top 5 most highest earning teams, which is pretty crazy, considering they've won 2 tournaments.
That's right. And it's time to get into a knife round, which means it is just about time to start the game. Again, the knife round does decide where you do start. Should you win the knife round, you get to pick what side of the map you want to start on. And a map like looked like Overpass was going to be first. Seems as though our order was a little bit off.
Yeah, EHLTV have it a little bit different.
I bet if I do this,
it'll be fixed. Nope, still not on it. Yeah, but Overpass is one of those maps where the knife round matters a little bit more, I think, here for Nordavind, because obviously we've seen their T side didn't look too great. So I think as many rounds as possible on that CT side, that's when we can hopefully see them get it done.
Yes, indeed, Dinko. We will be looking to get it done right here on Overpass. GG.bet Chicago Invitational. I'm glad to be joining you all here for the first time this week. This is a Group E elimination match. And speaking of elimination, it's going to be Tinsky that takes the bullet to the dome right away early on here. With his aggression from Croman, he wants to get a lot of intel, and he's going to have a lot of it too. He's pushing himself all the way up to the playgrounds. And now things will begin to become a little bit of a game of chicken. He's going to be pushing. He's gone very, very far there. Halzerk with another kill. So now with even strength in that Halzerk kill, make it ×2. This is trouble for Windigo.
Yes, certainly, but Windigo about to come in towards the B bomb site. The bomb is on their back, and luckily Nordavind aren't really here to play. Harry, the only player close enough, he will rattle a couple of shots off, but the bomb is planted. Yes, they've got the deficit, but Blocker's pulled that right back.
Yeah, he certainly has. In the effort to hold off this re-aggression here from Nordavind to take back this bomb site, they're doing a pretty good job. And so far, if they can keep this alive, they're going to have absolutely no problem. Look at that. It's Blocker that keeps them honest. Tapping the bomb is going to be Harry. 1 versus 2. Needs to find the first kill on Catwalk. Can't seem to do it. It's Blocker comes out on top. Windigo with the first round, as Dinko forecasted. It is the Norwegians that take the L.
Yeah. If Nordavind end up winning this, I'm just going to look really stupid, though.
Well, I can imagine wherever Halvor is, he's just got his fingers crossed, and he's just sitting there just waiting for that to happen so that he can rub it in your face,
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think I could picture that.
Yeah, probably. Me too.
Well, Mac 10 for Bubble, that's going to be the weapon that will be the cash grinder. And Windigo, they've gone heavy on the rifles. They've got the SG in play on ships, AK-47s available to 3 players. But Nordavind, they've gone for the force themselves. Halzard, I think for the early pick towards middle, but it's poison with the headshots. So, man advantage available for Windigo. Bubble might just follow up. We see a lot of these players love to go aggressive towards short. Generally, the meta on Overpass is just send players rushing towards short, see if you can find an opening. And generally, it's quite successful as well.
Yes, it is true. They're having a hard time holding off this site, but with 1 kill, that certainly does help to kind of equalize. Poison on 12 HP with an AK in his hands. Meanwhile, it's going to be Windigo that have sort of stepped back a little bit. They realized they might have gotten themselves in a little bit of trouble here with all the damage they've taken, all the casualties as well. So holding back just a little bit.
Well, just a minute left for Windigo, and this has actually become a bit of a scary situation for them. Obviously, when you win the pistol, you want to try and win that conversion run, and we've seen a lot of teams start to struggle in the Invitational so far. With they pick up the pistol, but they can't win the follow-up, and because of that, they go on a losing streak, and Nordavind would love to pick up this round win, and they still have the SG and Deagle available. High HP on Tensky, but Windigo starting to send the last remaining players through the monster tunnel, and there's no one really here for Nordavind to deal with that. So I think it might just be the safe call. You'll carry over the Kevlar, the SG, and the Deagle, bring that one into the next round, and allow Windigo up to 2-0.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. Not a whole lot else that's going to go down here. I mean, yes, with that saved Deagle, the head armor, all of the things considered, this is going to be a Windigo round here. Kind of popping off, one might say, Dinko. If I say a little louder, it might mask the sound of the can that you just opened.
Really?
Yeah, I was just, if I had to guess, that's it's okay. It's not bad. Anyway, another one here for Windigo. It's going to be a pretty easy affair, all things considered. They put themselves up to 2. And perhaps Nordavind, the Norwegians, can figure out their money situation. We could have a game going on here.
Well, they will carry over what they can, and it's actually quite a good job for Nordavind to be carrying over an SG. That gives them something to work with in the next one. Obviously, other than that, they would have literally nothing. So, good chance for them to do some damage, trying to keep that economy modest of Windigo, try and keep them low. And when it comes to the rebuys, that's when Windigo will struggle a little bit more. And you can see ships starting to see the low economy come through already, so good stuff for Nordavind. But here's the odds from GG.bet. 1.28 for Windigo. They are the favorites coming into this one, and 3.42 for Nordavind.
Yeah, and that would make sense considering, I mean, Windigo is a team that has been together for quite some time now. They seem to be a little bit more established. But I always wondered what happened to Croman. I was always going to wonder what happened to Croman, but now I get to see his face here, and that's kind of cool. He had that little bit of success there with FaZe Clan, even though he didn't stick around for the long haul. It still was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, we definitely thought that he was going to get a better team. I think he did as well, you know, kind of waiting around for offers. But Victor does get rid of Croman. Harry able to step up with a Deagle headshot. And he wants to go back in for more, but Poison, he'll say no to that. And so the man advantage is still with Windigo as they start to come on in. Rubino on 10 HP, and that's as easy as they get for ships.
It really is. It's Halzur Katinsky left. You have a SG and a Scout. Krieg and a Scout, I believe they want to call it these days, these meddling kids.
Yeah, I never really understood what the term Krieg meant. Then sort of when I was tuning in and seeing, you know, MBK picking it up at the start of things, kind of wondering what it was, like when they were bringing up the Krieg, but I understand now.
The more you know, my friend, the more you know. Easy round here for Windigo. They're able to keep 4 weapons alive, potentially not, but it looks like they're going to wisen up. It's Halzurk that makes a shot there from the top of heaven. Won't really matter in the long run. The bomb will explode, and the third one will go on the board. Meantime, this kind of does set us up in a situation where we'll finally see something resembling a buy from the side of Nordavind.
Finally, we get to see that come through. Halzurk picking up the AWP straight away. Utility is going to be available to every player on the CT side as well. So this is the first sort of challenge Windigo's had when it comes to an opponent bind. So we'll see if they can recover well. We'll see if they have a set piece in mind or they just go back to sort of default. And a player we kind of always talk about for Windigo is if Poison and Ships, if they can go off together, then they're a pretty unbeatable team. Like, they can have a lot of upset wins.
Especially on this map of Overpass. We've seen this team do some outrageous things. And by that, I mean just pushing and a lot of the randomness of their play style was just, it was too much and almost unbelievable at times. So here we have it. First frag will be traded out. It'll be Ships that is able to keep things somewhat close, but it's Victor and Bubble that become the first casualties in the round. It seems like they want to hit here towards the A site. If they do that, we run into that and Robino at long, and then in the site's going to be Halzerk. So the split might be a little bit more painful than they imagine. Robino's going to have the drop somehow, whiffs of the shot of a lifetime. And it's going to be Ships that comes out on top. Poison as well. Pretty easy does it, except for in the back lines. There's been a little bit of confrontation. Blocker down to 28 HP, Ships 150. Just leaving Daddy Croman to get it done, and he might just do it. He's now got a 1 versus 1 on his hands. The bomb hasn't been planted, but it is working its way up long rather quickly.
Well, 45 seconds to play with here as Blocker starts to wrap around from long back in towards the A bomb site. Croman further back down towards the connector. This might just be the wrong call, though. Blocker's starting to clear as many angles as possible. Eventually, he'll go for the plant here on the A bomb site. And he will have plenty of time to actually get a post plant as well. So it makes it very difficult for Croman if he wants to try and retake this. Kit's not available to him. So that certainly is a big problem. Yeah,
Croman finding himself in the middle of the map is kind of, I mean, it does work against him in terms of timing. It does let Blocker get into a lot of entrenchment there in a good situation. But nonetheless, Croman's going to walk his way up here towards the bathrooms, and it's going to be Blocker, expecting him to come from the A side. I think he's got a hunch now. Molotov's going to come out in the exact wrong place. Blocker waiting in bank. It's going to be a little bit of a cat and mouse game here. Croman with a nice little off angle, but all things considered, this one's gone completely against him. And there you have it. Croman falls, and Windigo go up one more, 4-0.
Yeah, winning the first gun round is super important, and Windigo, obviously, that can start off their T-side affair very well. On Overpass, we tend to see a lot of teams actually win a hefty amount of the rounds on the CT side. So Windigo getting as many as possible on this T side is certainly spelling bad news for Nordavind, especially since we've seen that T side start to suffer a little bit on Overpass when they brought it in. So they have to try and get as many rounds as possible on the CT side, and it's not been the greatest start. So Windigo definitely looking like the solid side here at the beginning of Overpass. It will be Halzerk looking for the pick inside of middle. He takes a little bit of damage, and that's enough to scare him off.
That it is. It's going to be Windigo playing a little bit smarter here. They want to play it slow. They don't want to run into any sort of weird stacks or get caught off guard. Speaking of weird stacks, that's sort of what Nordavind's done. They've cleared out water. Bubble will be there in connector. Has a hunt of it. He's going to get the spray down, getting down 2, or he's eventually taking up Croman. So all things considered, not a whole lot shown. Halzerk, 1 versus 4. Scout in hand. Takes 1 shot. Nice pop shot. A second one onto Poison. Can he find 3? Nope. But Victor will find it, and that will be the round. Windigo up to 5.
Well, at this point, Nordavind probably starting to struggle a little bit. So Utility will come in, a buy coming back through. Generally, if we see them lose this one, that's when we hopefully will see a pause come in.
Listen, guys, I just want to tell you about this little website, csgo.net. And if you go over there and use code Chicago, all caps, you might get 30% more balance and win some cool skins. Again, an official partner of the GG.bet Chicago Invitational. So head over to csgo.net, use the code word, and get it done. Boom.
Yeah, easy to remember. Chicago.
Chicago.
Well,
remember that one, Croman.
It's got very aggressive. Victor, he does fall, but the trade is there from Blocker. So 4v4, map control is still available to Windigo. And not really a whole lot gained there from Croman. He gets the 1 kill, but again, losing the map control and not a whole lot of information. So definitely Windigo coming out on top of that initial duel, and they've still got plenty of time to work this. Back up towards middle, Bubble. He'll send a Molotov off towards the toilets. The bomb is still towards B, and Blocker's not hiding the fact that it's there, spraying away with it. Still have 2 players a little bit further in behind Monster on the CT side. Smoke comes in from the A bomb site just to re-smoke Monster and try and delay Windigo further. But most of their troops coming over towards the B bomb site. All 4 of the remaining players over towards the side of the map now. So definitely telegraphing they want to hit here.
That's right. 2-2 defense here for the side of Nordavind. This is going to be a big round. They're starting to see this first half run away from them. They need to start grabbing rounds right about now. Right on the other side of the smoke is Harry. Gonna have a nice time holding on to this one in tandem with Ruvino coming up catwalk. Here comes the swing, Bubble with the shot, and that is easy as that. A trade, though, is in order. Make it 2, Tinsky and Harry teaming up, and they actually do grab the first round for themselves. So,
yeah,
just as we forecasted, Dinko.
Exactly. Well, Tinsky has actually looked pretty solid. Finding 3 kills there, he's definitely been a player that has been the shining light for Nordavind. There hasn't been too many, but they've definitely looked pretty solid.
Did you say CSGO.net?
No.
Oh, well, what were you trying to say then?
Well, I was saying that did you know that you can get discounts and new cases every week on CSGO.net?
Oh, okay.
Well, if you didn't, you have to hurry up. And what's even cooler is you can use that code, Chicago.
Chicago.
This kind of reminds me of that musical, Chicago.
Is that you into musicals, Dinko?
Well, no, I've just kind of...
No, it's cool if you are. I'm just curious.
No, the Chicago musical.
Okay.
It's pretty famous, but...
I think I've heard of it. I've heard of Cats. Is that kind of like the same thing?
I guess. I'm not really into musicals.
Cats the musical?
Well,
now you turn it around on me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No problem, Dinko.
There we go.
Well, we were in a little bit of a pause. It did seem that of the tactical type. And we're going to be back in the game. Nordavind having just won their first round of the game. They don't need to lose this one. That is for certain.
Yeah, if they lose this one, that's kind of heartbreaking for them, right? You know, they pick up their first win, and then instantly losing. That's never the way you want to go. Can't really afford to do that because you'll lose all the momentum that you potentially had. And Windigo, the problem is for Nordavind, they've got a bye. So Windigo, the answer here would definitely to go to 6. Sending most of their troops again over towards B, but Harry's dealt with his first kill well. Ships comes in, but Croman's there for the trade. And so, again, it's Nordavind with the advantage. So let's see if they can convert this, as the rest of Windigo seem to want to commit to B yet again. But it's Croman with a headshot, looking for another towards short, and it's all falling apart. Windigo, absolutely no chance here unless Blocker has a stellar performance.
Well, he's already kind of squeakily made his way out onto the site, but it's going to be Croman with a superb round there, getting it done. Puts him up to 8 and 6, and the young lad from Norway, certainly a prominent figure over there now, having left his mark. Speaking of marks, it's going to be Nordavind putting 2 tallies up. And for, I believe, the first time this game, Windigo, going to go with a save. Got 1 Deagle, 2 P250s out, and then 2 Glocks. Glocks.
Well, Victor, he's definitely had some signs of life, but again, not really the player you look to have that sort of high-level performance for Windigo, but he is the man that has to do it here with the Deagle.
Big grenade there. Bubble catching it. And puts him down to 38 HP. Luckily, only a Glock. Didn't invest into this round, so that's cool. The Nordavind are going to back up. A little bit of aggression they had there towards bathroom has been called off. Meanwhile, over on the B-bomb side, it's going to be Harry by himself for the most part.
Ooh, well, Hauser, good early pick. And he'll fall away, not wanting to overcommit. And he has the backup of Tensky pretty close to the sign as well. So if Windigo are to charge on in, they'll have a very sticky fit, as Tensky's just going to be waiting for it. At this point, Nordavind just don't want to give anything up.
Come on and wallbang him. Let's see the magic. Meanwhile, it's going to be a little bit of a cleanup affair here. Blocker able to get something with the 250, but Tensky with the cleanup. Chips on his own. Glock and a bomb. Really nowhere to go. Changes out for a B250. All formalities at this point. It's Halzerk with the last kill. 5-3. Nordavind do it against the Ecoed Windigo.
So yeah, that's 3 in a row. So definitely a turnaround in performance, as Nordavind struggled at the beginning. But Windigo perhaps showing a little bit of a hole that can be picked apart. And the thing that Nordavind have here that's an advantage over that of Windigo is they have the AWP of Halzerk, and he can lock down the toilet area, he can get very aggressive with it. We've actually seen that a lot so far in the Chicago Invitational. It's just all the AWPers being so impactful for the teams inside the toilets. And Halzerk's just going to go towards middle, and look at this early pick, missed shot though. And that might just cost him as he has to fall away.
Yeah, an aggressive peek there, and had it landed, it'd been definitely worth it. But that's just not going to be this round. Maybe next. Meanwhile, Windigo weary of the smoke here, but they're going to try to work their way around it. They want to find a path into this A-bomb site, it seems, with the opportunity to flex back down and connector and go to B. Oof. Later, Tensky deleted by Victor, and then Hazard gets the trade.
I thought he landed that second shot, but just about missed, and so Victor will sit on the truck waiting for the rest of the players to come on up the stairs. A minute left, bomb getting planted. So Windigo with the advantage. The bomb planted. They've got the control of this one. It's theirs to lose. As Nordavind have to show us what they're made of coming back into the retake. They've got utility available. They've got kits in every single player and high HP, but Victor doesn't care. He'll take a headshot. A second coming in as well. He looks back towards Optimus, but that will be one from Haru. And Bubble eventually will drop him as well. So 4 from Victor. I just kind of said around previous, he's not the player you really look to be that star of Windigo, but he's got 4 kills in the gun round, so perhaps I'm wrong.
Not known for being the victor.
Yeah.
Is that
I like it.
Sorry, man. You just kind of teed it up there. I swung, and sometimes you hit for the fence. Oh, yeah. Golf. Yeah, golf. Anyway, Windigo do find that round, so that's going to be not a bad one for them, all things considered. 6-3 as we look at round number 10. Speaking of 10, how about Tenski with AUG and the AWP on Halzerk? He's going to go for this early peek. Again, we'll take the shot, and we'll have to fall off. Doesn't land. He's out of dodge.
Well, still, Windigo have been pretty good at sort of not using up a hell of a lot of utility early. They just kind of keep a lot of it, drain that of the CT side, and when they want to, take some map control, you see the Molotov coming in, and Halzerk still wants to just play with it. He'll just stand behind it, does cascade the vision slightly, but if he can't take this pick, that will be very beneficial, but cannot react quite quick enough. And so it's back into the equilibrium of 5v5, and still 1 minute and 5 seconds left, so Windigo really just trying to play the time, get all the pieces of the puzzle in the correct position, and with the amount of utility they've still got in the bank, that's when they can have their final execute.
That's right. Long A will be the avenue of approach towards this A site, but if they're not careful, they're going to run into 3 stag members of Nordavind over here, and that is not going to make this any easier of a task. A little bit of a cheeky boost, as the UK lads would call it. Nets them no results. But now that information has been given. As the op rings out at long, you can expect a little bit of flash, and a boost is going to come out on the side of Nordavind. They want to go back for it. This is nice. I like this one.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to predict this from Windigo. Halzerk, he has to come off with the smoke. Will begin to fade, and pressure starting to be put on towards middle as well. So we have to fall away. Unfortunately, will not amount to a kill, but look at the time. 19 seconds left on the clock. They have to come into the bomb sides. Poison with a frag onto Tenski, but a great kill from Halzerk. It's only the one, though. And so Windigo, will they get the bomb planted in time? Harry desperately tries to get onto the bomb site to deny it. But Windigo, they will force their way in with limited time left. So Nordavind, most likely having to save here.
Yeah, and I really just kind of have to bring out the fact that you used the words hairy and desperate. And I just think that in some way, shape, or form, you have absolutely nailed it there. Croman will fall. Rubino, 1 versus 4, is just going to try to stay alive with this M4. Not a whole lot he can get done here. But anyway, back to Harry being desperate. So you know Harry Russell, right?
Yeah.
Huh. He's a crazy lad, I'll tell him that.
Yeah, I worked with him a few times. He's a good guy.
He's a good dude, but also a little bit off his rocker sometimes. So.
He is a bit mental.
Yeah, there we go. That was kind of the verbiage I was looking for. Anyway, 7-3, Windigo. Run down the clock, take the A site, and should have timing been on Nordavind's side just a little bit more, that boost would have probably ruined their entire game plan there. Round number 11. We're going to see that of an eco from Nordavind again.
Yeah, it's really annoying when you kind of find a little bit of success, but as soon as the guns come back in for your opponent, you just get absolutely dismantled. And so it's not a great sign moving forward for Nordavind. We'll see if they can get anything done on the P250s. And well, yeah, he might just throw a little bit of aggression into it. They've gone for the wrong side of the map stack, right? You can see the rest of Windigo are going over towards the A-bomb site, while Nordavind currently occupy the B side. Ships, only player here for Windigo. He will get one, but caught up by Croman, and that's an AK.
That it is, but that does not matter at all. The bomb will be going down over on the A site. And holding on to what they've got will be that of Nordavind, which is so far only 1 AK. Alongside of a Deagle and 2 P250s. Perhaps they try to grab themselves some exit kills while Croman holds on to this AK towards T-spawn, but this round is over. 8-3 will be that for Windigo.
Yeah, already winning the half, so they'll go into the second half with at least a 1-round advantage. And again, coming in from the less favored side of the T side. Definitely looking good for Windigo. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the map pick of Nordavind.
Well, there's only one way to know.
So it is, yeah. It is their pick. So, not a great start.
Not a great start at all, especially on their CT side. So we'll see him go down 8-3 thus far. And a buy is on the cards. AWP back out as well. They're going to put it in the hands of Halzerk. Everyone will buy around that. Tinsky going into this round with an AUG. There we go.
Yeah, we've actually started to see the sort of a drop-off in the AUG usage, which is it's weird to see because we're so used to seeing the AUG for the past 8 months or whatever it's been. And it's pretty crazy to see it just drop off completely after the nerf. We're starting to see a lot more M4s being pulled through, but finally Halzerk will get the opening pick he's been looking for.
Yeah, and it's Nordavind that needs these picks. They need that aggression early on to be successful because it seems as though their late rounds they're just getting picked on. Speaking of picked on, it'll be that of bubble, blocker, and poison. They're going to have to do a little bit of retaliation here. 3 versus 4. Very early on in the round. It has left them a little bit of a deficit. So far, it looks like the bomb trying to commit its way towards the B site. And right now, if they were to do it, that would be the best time. It's Harry over there, not Russell type.
Yeah, Halvor was telling me that it's very Norwegian, this name. So it's like Haro or something?
Haro?
Something
Haro?
like that. I don't know. Something like that.
Haro?
There we go. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, why not? If Halvor was here, he could, help us. But
yeah, definitely.
Seems like
he's not very helpful, is he?
Probably playing auto chess or something, so there's that. Anyway, bomb is going to slowly creep its way out here from the side of Windigo onto the B-bomb site, and it will just be the one member in Haro to hold on to it.
Well, Harry will be sitting back in the small pit. He'll be looking for the kill. It will be the kill onto Bubble. The bomb plant coming through, though, and he can't quite deny it, so Blocker just stands on default. Smoke will come in and act as cover so we can fall back to a better position. But there's still a 2v4. Still difficult, but Blocker's going to try and make it happen. There's a kill coming through onto Harry. Still, though, it's getting picked apart as Blocker will take a headshot. Another one coming in, and Blocker might just make it happen, but Rubino will say no. So another one on the board for Nordavind. It's never been easy for them, though.
Never has been easy for the Norwegians. Never has it. And now they're trying to make a case for it to be a little bit easier, but with a 4th one on the board, still a long way to go. Again, this is their map pick. Losing this, well, that's not going to set too well with the Norwegians. Well, again, if you are joining us, this is GG.bet Chicago Invitational. At the end of all of this, at the end of the road, there is a berth into the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago. Good round from Blocker there. Not enough, but good enough.
We've seen some crazy individual plays so far in the Chicago Invitational. We've seen 1v5, ace clutches from Scream. He's got 2 of them. Coldfake has 2 of them to his name. So pretty crazy stuff on an individual level across this Invitational so far. Hopefully we get to see some more of that in this matchup. And I think Nordavind will be a little bit more comfortable in the best of 3s, but being on your map pick and looking this dire, I have to say, at the start of things, it's not really a great sign.
Well, I mean, on the other side, too, you think maybe they're warming up slowly into it.
Exactly, yeah. We've seen a lot of teams peak lit as well. That's been a common theme. And it's better to peak lit than early.
Yeah, and, another part of me looks at this, and I think, okay, well, Windigo have had some pretty decent runs on this map.
Yeah.
So I guess Nordavind having to do what they have to do right here and picking it.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing to your own strengths instead of thinking about the weaknesses of your opponents or their strengths.
And just hope that the mismatch lines up in a way that you can catch a dub. Right now, that dub is looking like Windigo, as they have seemingly pulled a little bit of attention over here towards the A site. Meanwhile, the bomb is walking out B. He's going to pull 1 rotation. Victor with a frag might help to sell this just a little bit more. Halzerk missing that op shot certainly almost means his doom. He's not going to go down alone, though. Takes Bubble with him.
Yeah, well, the lack utility has forced Windigo to go for a contact play. It's resulted in a couple of kills, but the Nordavind side are coming out on top. All the fries coming in. It's all on ships. SG in hand, and not really a whole lot of time to get anything done here. So Nordavind might just put 2 together.
Yeah, that's what it smells like right now. Ships isolated, alone, and sunk. It'll be a 5th on the board for Nordavind.
Not too bad.
No,
they go on a little bit of a string of runs. You've seen earlier they won 3 in a row. Then that's when Windigo just stepped back into it. Paul's coming through. You'd have to assume it's Windigo here.
You have to, because this momentum that they had to start the game, pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah, they could go for a little bit of a half buy here, pick up a couple of upgraded pistols. Don't buy any Kevlar, though, of course. But here are your odds by GG.bet. 1.31 for Windigo, certainly still the favourites. Nordavind 3.25. And
yeah,
it's not looking amazing for their chances here on the odds, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the seesaw it hasn't really tipped, has it? It's still sort of Windigo, and rightfully so. I believe that is still the correct way to go about it here. Freeze time coming to an end. We're going to be jumping into one of the last rounds of the half. We got just one more after this. 8-5 currently. We've seen Halzert go for these sort of peaks early on. A little bit late this time, so he's not going to get the shot off that he wants. One member does, in fact, pass through the playground, and then on his way to long. Perhaps Halzert's going to repeat that. There will be the confrontation. He's going to be fighting it out with Bubble, who only has a Deagle. Scary times.
Yeah, scarier times for Ships, though, as he's the hero AK, and he's been dropped to 2 HP. So, not a great start. Might actually just consider throwing that over to someone else if they come near him. The AK obviously being the most impactful weapon in play for the T side, but Tensky. Flash comes around the corner, gets the kill on the Bubble, and might just find another one here as well. So a lot of cash being built up on the MP9, and Ships has been finished off finally as well. Not looking great here. A great run, though, from Nordavind. And Victor, along with the AK, let's see what he can get done.
Yeah, it's looking like, if Windigo can pick up this last round, much better look from Nordavind towards the later stages of this this first half, I should say. We do switch over. Who knows? Stay tuned.
Exactly. We kind of talked about the CT side. They need to find as many rounds as possible here because, again, their biggest weakness on Overpass, at least from what we've seen in this tournament, is their T side. And so it's a good job for them to recover. And if they can get an 8-7.5, of course, that's as close as you can get it. Need to win the pistol, though.
Anything from a miracle is what Victor would need, and he will not be that. 8-6, last round of the half. Nordavind looking strong.
Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about Rubino and his sort of style. He's definitely looking like Semler at the minute. He's got that sort of Semler-esque aesthetic going on.
Yeah, I see you. I understand. Shout out Semler if you're out there somewhere, buddy.
Yeah, he's obviously a trendsetter.
Yeah, basically. Kind of the way I see it. So. Anyway, last round of the half. No one's going to be saving up in this. Be as fiscally irresponsible as you would like.
Well, Bubble straight away through the connector. Closes the door behind him as well. He's got manners.
That's what I like that. It's kind of like on Mirage, you're running through TV room. Who doesn't turn the TV off?
Exactly.
Like,
same electricity.
Yeah, exactly. What were you raised in a barn? Speaking of being raised, it's going to be Harry getting it done right now. This is going to complete lockout of the B-bomb site. Windigo almost, just almost having an unanswered round.
Well, that's a complete turnaround from what we've seen earlier from Nordavind. So good reply. You can see there's not much of a disparity across the board. I mean, the only player really that hasn't done anything is Rubino, but he's obviously in-game leading for the team. And so obviously you can sort of give him a bit of leeway. Well, Rubino is the most experienced player on this team, so that's kind of why they've decided to give him the in-game leadership role. But here are the odds again. It's certainly creeping down.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit. It's getting a little bit better there.
And the pistol coming in. It's a 5-7 for Bubble. A weapon we start to see a little bit more of nowadays, but not a whole lot. CZ is definitely the weapon that dominated for quite some time. Again, it's been sort of tweaked, and a lot of players kind of like to go back to the other weapons and see if they're any good. But we'll see if they can get if Bubble can show us what it's made of here in the pistol. 8-7. Windigo want to try and get the driver's seat back. They're tossing for control of the driver's seat, and that can be quite dangerous. So Windigo want to make sure that they are in control, whereas Nordavind would love to create a little bit more chaos. We've still got utility on Halzerk and Rubino, so it looks as though they've got a plan here. It's going to be the B execute coming in, Smoke's there, flashbang's available, and Victor's going to hide in barrels as they start to run in towards him. Headshot coming through, and this is a great hold from Windigo.
Yeah, Windigo looking mean right here on this B-bomb site. Halzerk, well, he tried to fight it out as long as he could. 4 alive, and that's a good round from Windigo, 9-7. Good round indeed. They will win both pistols on that note.
it's kind of difficult to see a world in which you win both pistols and still end up losing, but we've actually seen it at the Chicago Invitational quite a few times.
Weirder things have happened,
Yeah.
Nico.
And it mostly comes down to this round as well, the one after the pistol. If you can't win this one, that sets you off on a really bad path. So Nordavind to come into it, it's the Deco. They have every single player on a Deagle, no Kevlar or anything else really, no utility. So it really is just the Deagles that'll have to get it done for the Norwegians. You ever been to Norway?
I have not, but it was on the cards. I have looked into trips to Norway, just like I've looked into a trip to Dublin.
Yeah.
But
Well, Dublin's a little cheaper than Norway.
oh, in that case,
It's just
who knows?
slightly.
What about around St. Patrick's Day?
Probably not, actually. Funny enough, though, in Ireland, it's not actually celebrated as much as the United States. I think they celebrate it slightly more.
Yeah, I mean, we are pretty crazy. I ain't even going to try to hide that one. Speaking of crazy, Rubino with the Deagle. Quite the combination there, but it's still not a great buy here from Nordavind, so any frags that they're able to take, any weapons they're able to put in their pockets would go a long way. Meanwhile, running into AUGs and SMGs is not going to make it any easier.
Well, just easy pickings for the MP9 of Bubble, who will search for a couple more eco frags, pad those stats, get the cash built up, and that's in fact what will happen. So double figures for Windigo. This is certainly a good step in the right direction on the second half if they want to try and have a dominant closure to this one. And a pause coming in here for Nordavind.
The truck is smoking. Should we alert the authorities?
Yeah, we'll just call the roadside mechanics. We'll see if they can fix it first, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like something where it's kind of hazardly. It'd be like if someone said something outrageous in Twitch chat, and then ultimately somebody has to report that. At the end of the day, somebody has to alert somebody.
Yeah. So you have to.
And speaking of that somebody, looks like it's going to be Ortritos that is going to be that person. Yeah, he's going to be that person. I would invite you all to report him right now, actually, as he has said something most outlandish in the chat. And it's not okay. It's not funny. It's not a troll. And you should never say that again.
Yeah.
I've said my piece. Now get out of my face.
Good deed done for the day.
Good deed.
It's not. I think this car kind of looks pretty shabby as well.
Which one? Look at the Dodge. Or is that a Dodge over there on the... looks kind of like a Dodge.
Looks a little bit like it. But it's German, so...
Oh, you're right.
They're usually quite good at making cars, aren't they? Well, at this point, I'm trying to see a world in which Nordavind managed to make this happen, because it's not been a good start on the T side. We haven't seen too much to talk about on the T side in the previous games on Overpass. But they're going to go for the force buy, and they're going to pull out the SGs, the AK-47s. They're going to take the hit on the utility, but this means they've got to find the kills.
They most absolutely do. This could spell really bad news bears for these guys looking ahead of this half. It's currently 10-7 for Windigo. Here comes the pick from Poison, just barely missing his mark. I don't think too many people in this entire match have been too successful with that pick, but still a good one to take. If you can take down the enemy's numbers down that early on in the round, it's rather perfect. Meanwhile, the waiting game for Nordavind, hanging out on the playground.
Yeah, the thing here for Nordavind is they're sitting very passively, not really trying to take too much map control. And I think a big part of that is they don't have a lot of utility to do so. They've only got 2 smokes available, and one's been used already. So, a minute left. What is the call from the Norwegians? They're going to back away from the playground and head back over towards B. And this is generally one of the sites where you can play contact. You can get close and personal. As soon as you hit that B-bomb site, it comes down to the fights.
Yeah, but look at this side from Windigo over there on B. The 3 members. This is going to be a bloodbath, and I cannot wait for it to unfold. 45 seconds left on the clock. Almost as beautiful as a fresh pizza. It's going to be the peak of Harry. He's able to get the shot onto Victor. Chips, though, teaming up for 2 before he's eventually taken down, and that's going to help things immensely. Number game having gone back and forth. Game of ping pong leaves Bubble. 1 versus 2. Bomb being planted here from the side of Nordavind.
Yeah, strange repeat there from Poison. You know, he gets the kill, but he walks right back into the open again, and that does cost him his life. And so Bubble's going to have to try and pull off the 1v2 clutch. Got plenty of time to do it. And, oh, the chance for the kill, but Halzerk will take him down, and that will be it for Nordavind.
Nordavind. Man, Chicago Cologne. A lot of great tournaments coming up.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of qualifiers as well. New York was on last night and today. We got Chicago coming up, Cologne. So many good tournaments. And it feels like we haven't had a whole lot of those this year. So finally we get a good string of them.
I mean, there's something to say about the German people, right? And Counter-Strike as a whole, and just how they kind of assimilate themselves with it. It's so fun to be there in Cologne in person in the arena. So hopefully, if you're out there, you are German. Perhaps I will see you in the city of Cologne. Perhaps you'll see me in Dusseldorf. You never know where you'll see me, but I'll be around there. Nonetheless, you're not going to be seeing too much of a purchasing option out here for the side of Windigo with just an AWP in the hands of Poison. All the keys to the city for Nordavind, 10-8. They might mouth themselves a comeback. Might even up the scoreline just a little bit.
Well, just give it a little bit of damage done onto Bubble. I think at this point, Windigo, their main goal here is just to hope that Poison can have a whole lot of impact and they can create chaos. But Harry's got the first kill on the MAC-10, just about survives as the smoke comes in, gets rid of that Molotov, and he's on 10 HP. But the advantage is still there, barely, with the Nordavind side. But as long as they keep it, they can have this run. But the thing is, they've got most of their players still towards B, haven't really got too much information anywhere else. You know, Windigo could have pushed all the way behind. There's not a whole lot of info here. And so Nordavind getting ready for the commit in towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, still 40 seconds left on the clock. Could be a little bit of misdirection play still, should they want it. There's enough utility to do something of the sort. Looks as though they want to try to brute force it out here into the B-bomb site, and that's what they're going to do. Running into Blocker, who has gotten him into blind situation. Only able to take down one, and that's going to be a little bit of a disaster there for the side of Windigo. They're going to smell out ships sooner rather than later. What? He gets a kill? What?
Yeah, definitely thought that Croman should have had that one. He was looking right at him. Ship's able to relocate his aim and get the kill quick enough, and at this point, it's all about Poison saving the AWP.
Yeah, certainly. At this point, that's all you can do. Nordavind go up to 9, Windigo on 10. We're going to be looking at round 20 before you know it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a close map, I have to say here. Nordavind have shown that pretty early on in the T-side now, which is nice to see. Had the potential for Windigo to walk away with it, but Nordavind winning a round there definitely gives them a solid chance. So the thing about Nordavind is their T-side was very basic. They didn't have a whole lot to fall back on. If they commit towards the B-bomb site, it felt like that's all they had. They had no real misdirection plays. They couldn't really fake and go back towards the A-bomb site. And, you know, that might just cost them if Windigo start to throw a little bit of aggression, throw a bit of a curveball in on the CT side. Nordavind might not be able to handle it.
That might be the case, Dinko. That might be the case. Taking a look at the scoreboard, it's going to be Rubino down there at the bottom. That's a tough one. Poison doing the exact same thing over on the other side. So, nonetheless, we're still looking at impact. Somehow, some way, this game has become a very close one, 10-9. We're going to see a save for the side of Windigo.
Yeah, we also talked about Windigo needing sort of Poison to be here, present, impactful, but it's at the bottom of the scoreboard. He has got an AWP. He'll look to try and change it here in round number 20. He sends himself towards middle, but no one's going to walk past him. In fact, it's Nordavind again. They like to spend most of the time towards the B side of the map, towards the lower part of the bomb site.
Yeah, that they do. They're going to take their time doing it. Windigo having to gamble just a little bit here. They left this AWP by his lonesome on the other side of the map. See him flex down the top of the connector now. But the hit's going to be on B, so he's going to have to catch up with his friends. Meanwhile, his friends only wielding USPs. This is going to be a problem, a big problem against the AKs of Nordavind. And there you have it. First two kills easily going away. Make it 3, 4, and now just the AWP on Poison again, and he knows he can't do anything. He's out of there. Adios, amigos.
Really starting to look like the Vanguard game.
Oh,
saving the AWP. Well, might not be able to save it.
Yeah, they're closing in on him. I think they've realized that, okay, he saved it last round. Didn't even hear this thing fire off once this round. So this guy hanging out somewhere, and there you have it.
Yeah, didn't expect the second player to be there. So double figures for both teams. It's back to even odds, 10-10. And this one is crucially important for Nordavind. If they want to continue the momentum that they're starting to build for themselves, they've got to win this round. As Windigo are coming into it, they've got the rifles. No AWP for Poison, though. Oh,
look at the odds. GG.bet odds. Of course, putting on the Chicago Invitational, and things have kind of stabilized. And I guess one thing that we could kind of talk about, I mean, we are looking at a gun round here, but one thing we could kind of talk about is the state of Norwegian Counter-Strike. Now, I would normally talk to Halvor about this, but I do like the idea that he's not able to defend himself or Norwegian Counter-Strike.
Okay.
So Maybe kind of get your thoughts on this one, Nico.
Well, I think they're definitely the weakest Nordic region, right? They haven't really had that team.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's went to the top. You know, Ents have obviously raised the bar with the Finnish CS as well. So certainly lacking behind. We're going to have to see if they can, you know, step up with the rest of the Nordic countries.
Yeah, and some of me wants to just point at Vendetta and say, you know, why have you let this happen? Over all of the years, over all of the things that have happened within the Norwegian scene, why have you personally found yourself at fault for all of it? I'll never understand personally.
It's really the sole reason as to why Norwegian Counter-Strike has been stopped from seeing greatness, really.
Yeah, and I couldn't have said that any better myself. You have absolutely nailed it, Dinko, and that's why they pay you the big bucks. Anyway, looking into this round, it's going to be Nordavind that do find themselves at a deficit after stringing together a few rounds, putting themselves on 10-10. Meanwhile, Windigo not want to get too aggressive here, and rightfully so. It's been tooth and nail to fight for rounds. Oh, the train.
So annoying.
You do love to see that. I mean, just part of the game, right?
Yeah, it is.
Don't tell Don Hassey.
I mean, without a train, this map would be kind of stupid, right? It's a train station, right? Above it, you got to have some sort of train.
Yeah, I mean, it's an overpass, right? So I see what you did there. Anyway, we're going to see what Nordavind can do here on the site. They're going to get the drop on Victor. Chips needs to come up in a big way. He's going to get flanked somehow. Stays alive a little bit longer than necessary. Bubble and Croman, 1 versus 1. Bomb finally getting planted, but Bubble in really good positioning. He's going to have to wait out this smoke. Perhaps, just perhaps, Croman's going to show a little face in an unexpected fashion. Quite the peak.
Yeah.
My goodness. How has he done that?
Flash. That's such a great flash from Croman. That just forces Bubble to look away. Croman peeks perfectly upon it and easily connects the kill. So Nordavind head into the lead. And I think Windigo is starting to feel the pressure a little bit. And I really don't want to see this again from Rubino. The spray on this next player was brutal.
Yep, there it is.
Oh.
it sort of outlines him, you know?
It's like once you find a murder scene or whatever, you like do the outline of their body.
Yeah, the chalk outline. Well, Rubino, clean it up a little bit.
They replayed it twice just for BM.
Vendetta actually just texted me and said, Rubino, come on, man. Come on, man.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
Again.
Yeah,
he just keeps seeing it.
His brother Croman's able to get it done in the round, and that's actually, for the first time, going to see Nordavind up to a lead here. Somehow, some way. They've strung together 4 rounds, even after losing the pistol round. So, 11-10. The buy is just not going to be there in force for Windigo. Scouts and pistols. Hell, throw a smoke on top of it. And here we are. Triple boost.
You've seen this fail so many times so far, but luckily for Windigo, they've done it well. But unluckily, there's no one here, so they'll not be able to get a reward off of it. And the rest of Nordavind are going to be sending their way over towards A-Long and taking control here.
There it is. You just can't stop believing, Dinko. Don't stop believing.
I do like that song.
It is a classic. Little did I know. The Germans I've met this weekend absolutely loved Journey, and I had no idea. It kind of caught me off guard, going to be real honest with you.
Yeah, you're experiencing a lot of Germany lately.
And Spain basically was Little Germany. It was pretty wild. Nonetheless.
It's a German map, Overpass.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Somewhat relevant then, I guess. In a roundabout way.
We just throw it in somewhere.
We found it. There it is. Okie dokie. Nades are going to come out on the A site, and Tinsky with the Creed. Not a whole lot to be said about Windigo on this round. They're pretty much just going to pick apart. They've done a considerable amount of damage on the Nordavind. It's going to be good there from Ships to find one, but anything outside of that would be an added bonus. 4 versus 1. Bomb planted on the A site. Somehow finding himself hiding at the truck. Wow, he does grab a kill before he dies, so
yeah,
interesting.
I didn't actually see the shot get rattled off there. So very nice shot from Ships. Can't quite sail to victory though. And it will be 12-10. Nordavind definitely a lot better on the T side than what we've seen previously in the tournament. So let's see if they can continue that. And Paul is coming through. Again, this one's actually a little bit more difficult to call because obviously it's pretty easy to call which way the pulses are going. I'm assuming it'll be Windigo though.
Yeah, or it could be Tech.
Yeah, it could also be Tech. I hear a lot of chat.
Yeah, I mean, we're not privy to reading the chat, and it's probably for the best if I really thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. You see some interesting things in chat with
Oh,
players.
yeah.
You find some interesting facts out about their life as well, though.
Sometimes. You know, I don't know if you watch traditional sports, Dinko, but like
No,
when you...
I don't really see American sports, more sort of European sports.
I'm thinking, you know, like hockey or anywhere where they can mic up the players in the field. It's always a cool experience.
Yeah, they don't really do that too often in European sports. I think rugby kind of has it a little bit with the referee has a mic on. But it's pretty cool to sort of hear the insight of communication in teams.
On YouTube, there's this GoPro video where a hockey referee has a GoPro attached to his helmet. And it's interesting because you see him skating around.
Yeah.
You hear what they're all saying to each other. Oh, man. I love a little bit of hockey. Anyway, we're finally going to see some weapons out for Windigo again. It's been a while. 12-10 on the score line. And with a little bit of aggression from Ships, that might just be the step in the right direction they needed.
Well, Harry's got a little bit scared and fallen away back. He'll wait for Crowan to try and assist from short. That gives them 2 prongs to the approach. Only Crowan starting to come on in. Rattling shot to the SG, but it's Ships still take his head off. And this is very well done from Windigo. They have the 2-man advantage. Hard to see a way in which they let go of this, but that's a way of doing it. Ships just walking right in front of the smoke, and Harry spams on in. Still the advantage, though, for Windigo, but it's dropped slightly.
Just slightly. Still plenty of time to work with here for Nordavind. Bomb waiting in the back lines. Perhaps Harry can get something picked off over here towards B, but they want to flex a little bit towards A. Still the option to go down connector and maybe find their way onto the B site, but right now Windigo, they get the wind of it, and they're just going to play back a little bit. Smart choice. Big round, all things considered, in the landscape of this game.
Yeah, they could really easily just break the back of Nordavind, snap them in half.
Like breaking apart sliced pizza. Here we are, looking at the B-bomb site and the defense there. And Halzerk with the first one.
Well, Victor certainly snapping them in half. And there's 2 kills going right in for him. Certainly looks like he could snap a few people in half, Victor.
That's not going to be a fun one if you're Nordavind. I mean, you have strung together enough rounds, but you need 16 to win the game. That's kind of how this thing's played. Of course, you can't always count on the aggression there from things like this where Ships is just making a push. You can't do that all the time either. Nonetheless, finally, Windigo respond. They had lost a considerable amount in a row there, actually. 12-11.
Well, Orgs in play again. Double up setup this time for Windigo. Ships and Poison, that's such a deadly duo if they're going off together, but again, Poison has been a little bit quiet, but Bubble close by in middle. This might just be a kill on the Org. Fire it slightly slower and can't get the shots off. And Poison with a trade.
Yeah, and a good peek there from the side of Nordavind. They played it pretty much to perfection. Basically, triple peek all the way around that corner. There was no way for him to really get more than one in that situation.
Yeah.
Nice shot from Poison.
That's a headshot as well.
Definitely not necessary, but he does land it anyway on the dome piece of Halzerk. Going to go for a second peek, and it's going to be Croman that has the answer. Does pick up the phone, and he does say hello. Guten Morgen. Tinsky and Croman, 2 versus 3. And try to go their way out of connector.
Well, under a minute left. Bomb in the possession of Nordavind. Here's Tinsky and Croman start to make their way up towards the short position. They'll have Victor just sitting back towards lower heaven. He's done it again. He's got the early kill. Flash goes in. Can he find the follow-up? Knows that he's crossed, or at least close by, but it's a nice kill from Tinsky. Another one from Tinsky as well, and it's into the 1v1. He's 8 HP.
What could go wrong here? We're going to split the screens for you. You can take a look. Blocker working his way up. Catwalk. Oh, my goodness. Tinsky, 8 HP, only having a dream. Probably not a whole lot of hope, and somehow, some way, wins out the 1v1 there at the end. Craziness, I tell you, Dinko. Craziness.
That is crazy. And, you know, Nordavind, that is a run that just saved them. If they lose that one, they're certainly on the back foot. Windigo, it's even again. They have the momentum starting to build up on the side. The money's starting to be there. Nordavind starting to lose control of the economy. But finding that clutch, Tensky might have just saved the Norwegians here on Overpass.
He might have 13 to 11, and they've done just enough in that round. Because when you look at the money situation for Windigo, it's ugly. Ugly.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
No, it is not. If you're just joining us, again, the GG.bet Chicago Invitational. Run Overpass. Next will be Mirage, the pick of Windigo. And then if we have to go all the way, it'll be Nuke as the decider.
Nuke could definitely be interesting.
Could be, but that's not a guarantee that it will be.
Exactly. We just kind of have to hope.
Yes, it's true. Poison getting a little bit aggressive out here, looking to get this pick. Misses the shot, and now he's going to get swarmed on. Able to take Croman out, but he'd already taken so much damage and eventually does fall. So the AWP is out. And the purchasing power of Windigo is drastically shortened on that frag.
Ships just holding off towards the site, looking down the barrel towards Long Halzerk. You know, it's not really a fair battle, MP9 versus AWP at this long range, so Ships just going to sit in the back of the bomb site. 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Nordavind dominating the map at the minute. They've got the better rifles. They've got quite a bit of control. They've forced Windigo to play very passive on the bomb sites. There's no one really getting aggressive on Windigo, so there's not a whole lot of info available to them. And that does make things much more difficult.
That it does. With the bomb in hand, all the utility in the world, everything they could possibly need. Nordavind are the only ones that could lose this round now. Lose it for themselves.
Ooh, Ships has been pretty cheeky on the edge of these smokes a couple of times. Let's see if he can make it happen. The Dink comes into Harry. They know where he is, though, and he's just going to stay here. Ships doesn't even care. He'll line them up, and that's 2 kills on the MP9. Going back in for more, but wasn't aware that the low ammo count, and that will be Ravino very awkwardly getting the kill on the Glock. So there we go, 14-11.
You say awkward, and yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah.
That's like bury your crosshair into each other and hope for the best. And that's exactly what we saw. Nordavind on 14. Quite the turnaround for them here in the second half. They're looking well in control now, but we're going to see a buy from Windigo, potentially the last one of the game for them.
Yeah, this definitely not what Windigo would have wanted, especially with the start. A lot of people, including myself, was probably expecting Windigo to be walking away with this one, but Nordavind certainly putting up an excellent fight, and it's really nice to see that they've improved upon the T side. Rubino has had his fair share of awkward engagements, though. He's gone back to the SG. Halzerk, assuming there's a weapon drop for him. And so Nordavind looking to try and take map point. Windigo will have to see a little bit more consistency out of Poison. You know, he's had a couple of nice shots, but it's never really been, you know, a kill and be able to fall back and stay alive. He's always died pretty shortly after, and that can definitely spell bad news for them. There is a team in NA called Bad News Bears, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's a lot of strange names in the NA teams. You get like
Oh, yeah.
4.
There are absolutely a lot of strange names. Almost as strange as this. Nordavind powerhousing their way up here towards this B bomb site. So far, it's only Victor that can find some success.
There we go.
All of it in vain. 15 to 11. Somehow, Nordavind have turned this around in their favor. So good job on them. Good on them. The Norwegians certainly still in this series, still in this fight, in this Group B elimination match.
Yeah, the winner of this will go on to play the winner's game, and that game will give them a spot in the semi-finals. So as soon as the group stages are concluded, we just go straight into the semis. There's no quarterfinals here. So once we get to the semi-finals, that's when we will start to see the teams try and duke it up for a spot for that grand final. And again, the prize is, of course, a spot at IEM Chicago. So definitely every single team in this tournament would love to get that spot.
That is the case. They will be joining the likes of Avangard, who found themselves going out 7th to 8th out of the 8 potential candidates from fighting at Chicago. Second place, and that's themselves 5K, but the real prize is going into Illinois itself. Let me tell you, Chicago in the summertime, it's going to be cool.
At least they've done it in the summer this time, right? Because I remember it was in the snow and
dude, it was
super cold.
So cold last time. My God. There we go. Croman with a little bit of an off angle. The backside of the connector, and the timing is just not his friend. He wanted to skate out, find something better. But sometimes better to just wait.
Well, this is a resurgence from Windigo. We see a lot of teams sort of get to map point and then just choke it in the next one. You never really just see a team easily close it out.
No, that would make too much sense. Well, it's still doable here for Nordavind to close it out. The 2 versus 3, Tinsky and Rubino. 2 smokes between the two of them, and 1 Molotov. But with the bomb down in one of the most inopportune places, it's going to be a fight tooth and nail to get it back. Poison with the leg shot, and ultimately the final shot onto Rubino. Tinsky playing it smart, baits out the op. Just dancing.
Well, we've seen him clutch so far. Can he do it again for his side? This would be for the win. And the answer is no, as Poison steps up with a triple kill.
That he does.
So good stuff from Poison. You know, we kind of said earlier, yeah, he's finding a couple of kills here and there, but it's never really amounted to too much. It's been traded quite efficiently, but that's certainly a way to do it. 3 kills coming in, and you can see, because the rounds have been relatively close for the last couple, Nordavind, after losing 1, are sent back to a really weak buy. So they'll leave enough money in the bank. They've got a bit of a buffer, and so they'll buy a couple of upgraded pistols, Deagles, the scout in the hands of Halzerk. They can soften them up a little bit for the pistols. And the goal here, again, is just hopefully get a couple of kills and force rebuys of Windigo. But overtime really is a possibility, and Poison taking the early kill onto Halzerk. That's the right foot in the right direction. Ships will get 1 onto Tinsky inside of the B bomb site. So Windigo, they've got the 2-man advantage immediately here. As Rubino wanted to go for the trade, or at least try to attempt it, but the Molotov has held him back. Harry looking for the boost. Can't react quite quick enough. And Ships again is just having a field day in this B bomb site. Kills coming his way. It's conveyor belt of death as Harry finally will pick up something for Nordavind, but it's hard to see it not just being a consolation frag.
Yeah, that is kind of what it smells like here at the end of the round. 2 versus 4, and with the Deagle, not a whole lot of places to go, and nowhere he will. So Windigo able to save 4 weapons in that round, so that will help them. Pressure's certainly on Windigo. Could be Windigo, could be lose to go. We don't know. Stay tuned. Watching the show.
That's their B team.
Lose to go. Nice, man. It's not bad.
I mean, there's certainly sort of, you could have some reverse psychology going on. You go into a game, someone just expects you to lose, but you're like the best team in the world.
Mind games, Counter-Strike, 101.
Ooh, look at that nade. Does so much damage onto Halzerk. Harry and Tinsky being dropped low as well due to utility, but it doesn't really matter for Tinsky. He walks in and gets a headshot up towards short, but Victor able to trade. He's been the linchpin of that B-bomb site.
Yeah, the B-bomb site was certainly on its way to falling there from Windigo, but things have not worked out in that fashion. Tinsky down, Ships down, and the repositioning from Nordavind will come in now. Had a pretty good lead onto the B-bomb site. They were in water pretty fast. Hell, they were up sandbags pretty fast, but sometimes that's just not the way it goes. Now they flex back over towards long. Looks like it might be an A crawl.
Certainly would be a good start to the day, having an overtime on map 1.
Yes, sir.
We had a very long day yesterday. It's looking like it could be the same today. I think this Invitational, we don't have Liquid, we don't have G2, so a lot of the games are going to be very closely contested. There's not going to be blowouts.
Well, or if you're Liquid and you lose in 11-4 first half.
Yeah, that's true. We kind of seen a couple of slip-ups from Liquid.
Somehow still qualified, but,
yeah.
You know.
Definitely not looking indomitable.
Very much the case. The waiting game. 20 seconds on the clock, though. Some decisions need to be made. Comms now also being made. Prime position here for Poison. If he can hold down to this site, wait for reinforcements to arrive.
Yeah, only 13 seconds as well.
Look at the backstab here. We're going to pull up in a picture-in-picture, and there you go. Getting shot from the back. That's not going to help things. Poison going for a very aggressive pick. It's going to be Halzerk, and nothing can be done. 15-14. We smell like overtime.
Yeah, and for Nordavind, that's not a very nice smell. Obviously, they started to build up quite a bit of success, and it's all just crumbled around them. The Norwegians not being able to get it done. You know, not as quite as icy and as cool as the Finns, it seems. They just kind of are ice cold in the veins.
It's true. No one should have a vendetta around here, though. This is the way things go sometimes. And that's what the V stands for. 15-14 on the precipice of overtime on map 1 of the series.
Well, it's not a great buy here for Nordavind. It's the Mac-10s coming in on Croman, Harry, Rubino. Well, Tensky's got himself a Galil, but it's not much better. And a Deagle for Halzerk. So they've literally went to the shop and just bought anything they possibly can.
Yep. There's no saving it in this round. Nordavind can avoid overtime, but will they? Bubble's going to take the aggressive peek. This pressure is going to be over here towards the Beast site. The double nades come out from the CTs, but no one's going to be there to catch them. Meanwhile, running all the way up Catwalk, they're going to drop in the site, dropping into water. Chips with only one. Blocker doing what he can to stay into the fight by grabbing 2. 3 versus 2 here. A very important round for Windigo, and it's starting to fall apart at the seams.
How has this happened? Halzerk and Tensky, the last 2 players remaining here. Nordavind looking to try and get it done. Trying to win this 16-14 and break Windigo at the final step. They fall away. They will allow Nordavind, it seems, to have control. The bombs actually just went straight up towards the A bomb site. So I think Windigo have actually made the right call here, sending Bubble back over towards middle.
Very much the right call. With that bomb planted, now the pressure is on Windigo. Is what they're going to need. The fight will go in the way of Nordavind. And that is not what you want to see for Windigo fans around the world. Poison with the AWP and nowhere to go with it. That's going to be a 16-14. They let them get back into the game. Tit for tat. Could have went either way, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the Norwegians do get it done here in the first map of this series.
Yeah.
How you feel about them apples, Dinko?
Yeah, it's not good for my prediction, obviously, but it's good to see because I wanted to see Nordavind play better, and they've definitely done that. And on Overpass as well, the map that they didn't look exactly too strong on. So up next is Mirage, and that'll be a different story, I think. I think Windigo should be the favorite team on that one.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, we are looking at a Mirage Etoile. That's what we do have on the cards here, but ultimately you have to consider just the mental fortitude it would take for the comeback and then to lose. It's just like... ouch. Yeah. That one's not the one that you want to see. What we do want to see is you here after the break. So we're going to be cutting to one of those really quickly. And when we do come back, we're going to jump into the second map of the series here, the GG.bet Chicago Invitational.